Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Thursday, 15th of June 2023. This day is celebrated as the World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. WEAAD is observed annually on June 15 to raise the awareness about the mistreatment and neglect of older adults and promote the importance of their well-being and dignity. So it is a very important. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, the Hindu states that Law Commission seeks fresh suggestions on Uniform Civil Code. Muslim organizations protest against the Uniform Civil Code in Madurai. A Law Commission. Law Reform Commission or Law Revision Commission is an independent body set up by the government to conduct law reform. That is, to consider the state of laws in a jurisdiction and make recommendations or proposals for the legal changes of restructuring. The first term is prevalent in the United Kingdom, the second is prevalent in the Commonwealth, and the third is prevalent in the United States. The Hindu newspaper also states that Tamil Nadu Minister Senthil Balaji remanded to judicial custody till June 28. Tamil Nadu Electricity Minister V. Senthil Balaji breaks down after enforcement drive officials took him into the custody and brought him to the Tamil Nadu government super specialty hospital at Omandurar Estate in Chennai for medical examination on 14 June 2023. The Hindu newspaper also states that at least 79 dead after overcrowded migrant vessel sinks off Greece. 100 is missing. An undated handout photo provided by Hellenic Coast Guard shows migrants on board a boat during a rescue operation before their boat capsized on the open sea of Greece, June 14, 2023. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that students from Hyderabad stabbed to death in London, 2 arrested. A University of Nottingham student Kontham Tejaswini Reddy was stabbed at her residence in Wembley. While Reddy died on the spot, her friend Akhila, who was also stabbed, is out of danger. A 27-year-old woman from Hyderabad who was pursuing higher education in London was reportedly murdered at her residence in the Neild Crescent, Wembley. The deceased Kontham Tejaswini Reddy of Champatpet in Hyderabad was a student of University of Nottingham and was staying with her friends. Indian Express also states that arrests in Maharashtra or Aurangzeb posts what laws have been used and why. While the hate speech laws have been used liberally for making arrests, the Supreme Court has laid down several safeguards against their misuse. Here is what the laws say and check on them. In the past 12 weeks, at least 5 men have been arrested in Maharashtra for illegally putting up posts glorifying Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. As per the first information reports, the men have been booked under the Section 298, 295A, 505(2) and 153A of the Constitution. Portrait of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Indian Express also states that Project Cheetah, is it problematic or is it too early to judge? India has a project to reintroduce the cheetah in the forest 7th decade after the last member of the species went extinct in the country. Under the Project Cheetah, the animals are translocated from the forests of the South Africa and Namibia to the Kono National Park in Madhya Pradesh. But the death of 6 imported cheetahs, including 3 newborns, has prompted some people of the question of the project. Criticism on the reintroduction of cheetahs has been raised in Indian scientists by Indian scientists and the global community. Cheetah reintroduction in India involves the attempt to introduce and sustain a small population of Southeast Africa cheetah, the nominate subspecies in India more than 70 years after the India's native subspecies. The Asiatic cheetah, Echinois jubatus veneticus, became the extinct. Their Asiatic subspecies is now found only in Iran in critically endangered numbers. A Southeast African cheetah inside the quarantine facility in Kono National Park. Indian Express also states that High Court orders Central Bureau of Investigation probe into the murder of coal mafia Raju Jha. According to police, the accused, identified as Vijit Mondal, is a resident of Panagra in Peshim Bardhaman district. The Calcutta High Court on Wednesday directed a Central Bureau of Investigation probe into the murder of Raju Jha, the alleged operator of a coal syndicate, who was killed in a Purba Bardhaman district on April 1st. Hearing the matter on Wednesday, Justice Rajesh Shekhar Mantha directed the Central Bureau of Investigation to probe the case and complete the probe within the 4 months. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper, states that over 74,000 people shifted as a very severe cyclone to make landfall today. Authorities in Gujarat have relocated more than 74,000 people across the 8 districts to a safer location, as pulled down 4,000 hoardings and pressed hundreds of relief personnel into action as the state braces for Cyclone Biparjoy to crash ashore in a day. People wait for bus evacuate them from Chakwa village in Kutch district, India, Wednesday. Hindustan Times also states that Law Commission seeks public religious bodies' views on Uniform Civil Code. Almost 4 years after the Law Commission of India come out with a consultation paper stating that a uniform civil code was neither necessary nor desirable at the stage, the Commission on Wednesday has set about examine the issue afresh as it solicited views and suggestions on UCC from the public and recognized religious organizations. The Jamiatul Ulama Maharashtra, during a demonstration against a uniform civil code and seeking 5% reservation at Azad Maidan in Mumbai on October 20, 2016. Hindustan Times also states that fresh gunfight claims 9 lives keeps Manipur on edge. 9 people were gunned down and another 10 injured in Manipur's Imphal East district when a group of unidentified men stormed a village and opened fire, authorities said on Wednesday, dealing a fresh blow to the government's flourishing efforts at restoring peace in the violence-torn state. Security personnel stand guard following fresh violence that occurred in the several areas of the Manipur. Hindustan Times also states that NDMC areas to soon have transgender sections in the existing public toilets. The New Delhi Municipal Council NDMC has begun the process of developing transgender sections at existing public toilet complexes in New Delhi as a part of a 2.5 crore project that will bring the total number of such spaces in Ludhiana's Delhi to 91. Officials familiar with the matter said on Wednesday. Going towards the economy of the country, WPI inflation declined to 3-year low of minus 3.48% in May. In May 2022, WPI inflation was at 16.63%. Indian Bank's credit profile is resilient and amid global banking sector stresses. Moody's said that credit conditions in India have improved with a significant reduction in the bank's legacy problem in loans. European Union says Google abused its dominant positions in online ads. European Commissioner for Europe Fit for the Digital Age, Margrethe Vestager, speaks during a media conference regarding an antitrust case against Google Tech at European Union headquarters in Brussels on June 14, 2023. Sensex Nifty rise on gain in metal commodity stocks. The 30-share BSE Sensex climbed 85.35 points or 0.14% to settle at 63,228.51. Sensex and Nifty, while BSE and NSE are stock markets, both Sensex and Nifty are stock market indices. A stock market indices index summarizes the movement of the market in the real time. A stock market index is created by grouping together similar kind of stock. Sensex, which stands for Stock Exchange Sensitive Index, is the stock market index for the Bombay Stock Exchange. Nifty stands for National Stock Exchange 50 and is the index for the National Stock Exchange. Going to the world news, including Russian court sends an associate of a Kremlin for Navalny to prison for 7.5 years. Indian origin teen among three killed in United Kingdom's Nottingham knife attacks. United States pushing India to seal big armored drone deal during a Prime Minister Modi's visit report. At least 78 migrants dead and dozens feared missing after a fishing vessel sinks off Greece. Philippine volcano's eruption, while has displaced thousands, can last for months. Nottingham police say man fatally stabbed a three-stall van and ran down three more in English City. Indian Institute of Science researchers designed fluorogenic probe to detect an enzyme linked to early stage of Alzheimer's. Science and Technology active COVID-19 case in India dipped to 2,148. As of June 14, India has recorded 120 new coronavirus infections, while the active cases have decreased to 2,148 from 2,248. Explain what is the status of transgenic crops in India. A pink bollworm attack on BT cotton fields in Anantapur district in Andhra Pradesh. There is an array of crops, brinjal, tomato, maize, chickpea in various stages of trial that employ transgenic technology. However, cotton remains the only transgenic crop that is being commercially cultivated in India. Genetically modified crops, GM crops, are plants used in agriculture, the DNA of which has been modified using genetic engineering methods. Plants' genomes can be engineered by a physical method or by our use of agrobacterium for the delivery of sequences hosted in tDNA binary vectors. In the most cases, the aim is to introduce a new trait to the plant which does not occur naturally in the species. Examples of food crops include resistance to certain pests, disease, environmental conditions, reduction of spoilage, resistance to chemical treatment, resistance to herbicides, or improving the nutrient profile of the crop. Examples of non-food crops include production of pharmaceutical agents, biofuels, and other industrial useful goods, as well as for bioremediation. At last, there is a famous quotation said by Rabindranath Tagore, whose birth anniversary is 7 May 1861 up to 7 August 1941, was a Bengali poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and a painter. He reshaped Bengali literature and music as well as Indian art with the contextual modernism in the late 19th and early 20th century. Author of the profoundly sensitive, fresh, and beautiful poetry of Gitanjali, he became in 1913 the first non-European and the first lyricist to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. Tagore's poetic songs were vivid as spiritual and mercurial. However, his elegant prose and medical poetry remain largely unknown outside the Bengal. He was a fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society. Referred to as the Bard of the Bengal, Tagore was known by the sobriquets Gurudev Kobi, Guru Biswa Kobi. Mr. Rabindranath Tagore says a famous quotation. He says that everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Okay, thank you.